What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chad Arms, aka Chad D by B. Lemon.
Yeah, I got to get used to this too. My name is Tony, aka. Let me do it this side. Friday. I'm still missing it. Friday the 14th.
Heck yeah, dude.
Is it my turn now? What is going on here? Like we're stuck in digital land. I'm Hot Mike Chance.
Yeah, it's a digital world, and we are digital girls. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it.
That's right.
But it is a cold mother trucker here in Middle Tennessee. We will not
Oh,
deny
dude.
that one.
When Mel
for
left for
sure.
work at 3 o'clock, it said it was 24 degrees, and it felt like 8.
Yeah.
Now
Mhm.
it's saying that the actual temperature is 21, and it feels like 6 where we live. So that's cool.
I believe every bit of it because right before we started recording this, I had to take the dog out, and I was go pee pee, go pee pee, go pee pee, like that little meme. Yeah, I was straight doing that, but no, he was out there
Hank.
thinking that he's a freaking husky and the cold don't bother him. But I'm sitting there, yeah, it's a Bridget. That's why we're shooting a new version of the podcast this week because of the weather here in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah. The roads were a little bit iffy earlier, and it's going to get so cold tonight
Oh yeah,
that we were just like, well, let's just try this out because I've been thinking about this with the podcast just because of interviews that I've done that people have had me up on panels and stuff in the music scene. And it's the same way that we're doing this. And I think that we can get a lot more guests on this way with the pod when we do episodes like this. So stay tuned for that, man. I think
oh
that
yeah,
could be
most
something.
certainly. When
Yeah.
y'all brought that up, I mean that's it's light bulb because that was one of the goals for me for the channel for the show is getting more guests on in 2025, and this is the avenue to do it with. I mean, we can reach out to
Yeah.
pretty much anybody and say, hey, you want to come talk some movies and wrestling with us? And
Yeah,
this is the way
for
for us
sure.
to do it.
Yep.
For sure.
And
So stay tuned for that, man. 2025, we're gonna have a lot more featured guests on the pods. We'll be able to get more Viz episodes. Brandon and BJ will be able to probably tap in more because they won't have to leave the crib, you know.
yeah,
So
exactly. And it's all thanks to that guy out there.
Everybody, all of us.
Well, I mean, you genius to think of. I had no clue. I know this is how I'm gonna have to get used to the camera position and
Yeah.
everything with this.
We
and
look
all
like
that.
the Brady Bunch.
it's mirrored. So I'm pointing here, and it's everything's mirrored. So
I think this is Chad. This is Tony for me.
hey, I'm Chad.
Yep.
But
I guess it's the same for everyone.
You get a little bit of look into my nerddom with this look and everything. So.
Shout out nerddom.
Yeah,
Hey, you got a couple of new.
Studio.
You got a couple of new pieces, didn't you?
Yeah, I got these little fancy things in the other day from a company called TerraVision, and
like
they made Friday the 13th 1 through 6 cassettes, and they have like actual cassettes in them.
So it's like the soundtrack.
Yeah, it's a soundtrack on cassette.
They don't
that's
have
crazy, bro. I saw you share that on your Instagram, but I didn't know. I thought it was just like I didn't know it was the actual soundtrack. I thought it was just like.
Yeah, Harry Manfredini. It's all the Harry Manfredini editions and everything, but 5 and 6 are all sold out. So I'm gonna have to go onto eBay to find those because I got to complete them. I got to.
Yeah.
Yep.
You definitely do.
They don't happen to make Halloween, do they?
No. They have a Rumpelstiltskin one if you want it.
I mean,
okay. Close to Halloween.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We mean Rumpelstiltskin.
Yep.
Right there in the Leprechaun world, but they do have on their site. They have quite a bit of vinyls. They distribute movies, but I didn't realize that they do vinyls and cassettes and all that until I get like a dark dive into their website, and then they got me for some money. They hooked me.
Hey, that's a nice pickup though.
Hooked you in, but yeah, man. Shout out to Chance for making this happen, and hopefully y'all still enjoy it. Obviously, it's not going to be as good of quality.
I look
in studio.
I am not Casper the Ghost. I promise.
And I'm not going to be looking at any camera I'm supposed to be looking at. So if y'all, I know you're supposed to look at the green light, and I never do. I look at y'all.
Okay, that's what that little green light's for. Oh, that makes sense.
Green light special.
Hour here. But hey, we do have a little timer up here and everything too, so that makes it useful.
Yep. Yeah, and we know that it's recording. You know what I mean? In a situation where we have to guess and hope that it recorded.
We don't have to use any mirrors tonight.
No mirrors. We're episode 98, man. Shout out to
Tack
Jeffrey
McKinley.
Simmons.
Oh,
Who?
Tack McKinley.
Tack McKinley.
Yep.
Okay. So shout out to
former
Tack
Atlanta
McKinley.
Falcon.
Former Atlanta Falcon.
With.
Shout out Jeffrey Simmons.
Yep.
But we're talking Netflix and Monday Night Raw. That's what we're talking today.
First 2 episodes are in the bank from in the certified Netflix era.
Well, whenever this drops, we'll be three in, but we've only seen 2.
Yeah. While recording, 2 episodes have only been flashed in. Upfront opinions. What was y'all's thought of we'll just get into the first episode. What was initial thoughts? Right off the rip from the first episode of Raw on Netflix.
I kind of had a lot of hesitation with this and really didn't know what to expect with them moving to Netflix. I know there was a lot of rumors about how the programming is going to change, and I know that WWE usually does everything big, and I feel like that this was a great way to start out Raw on Netflix. I almost glitched out again, but having Raw on Netflix, I think they did a great job, like that opening package and just the overall production. I think they delivered on the episode as a whole.
They picked the right arena to do it in as well, in my opinion. That Intuit Arena out in Los Angeles. It's a brand new arena, like 2 years old. And the owner, it's where the Clippers play, and the owner is very high tech with his thought, and it's a very interactive arena with the lights.
Right.
It's a very fan friendly type atmosphere, and they couldn't have picked a better place to premiere in. Like you said, that video package with the curtains draping the ring.
Yep.
Draped up and dripped out.
And then as soon as the video ended, it drops, and you got Triple H in the ring, cutting an awesome Triple H promo.
Yep.
Yeah. I liked that it's at Netflix. And I like too that it's once it's done, you can go back and watch it just like you would any other, episode of anything.
Here's go ahead.
No, I was just saying that. I said that the one thing that got on my damn nerves is all those freaking commercials. Though they double dipped on them ads, boy.
I wasn't expecting that many.
Yeah, me either. Here's a quick hack: watch it on a 20-minute delay, and it'll 20 to 25-minute delay, and it'll skip all the commercials. You don't even have to sit through them.
But
while it's live, like while it's playing through the first time, that's what I did last week. And I didn't get any commercials. You get like a few of the WWE commercials, but you don't get any of the extra
all the extra stuff. And when you go back and watch it, like in the archive, like there's no commercials, right?
It's just, no commercials.
That's dope.
I don't know if they'll change that or not. But
now, with you going back and watching it, did The Rock drop his F-bomb during his promo and everything?
Well, I did it on the second. Was he on the second episode?
No, he was on the first episode.
I did it on the second episode.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I got you. Yeah, because he dropped a clear. I mean, after the Triple H promo, the Rock music hits, and of course, the Rock comes out as babyface Rock.
Yep.
In this situation, where the last time we saw him, he was heel Rock. I get it. It's for Netflix. It's everyday people don't understand heel Rock. All they know is good guy Rock and everything. And of course, he cuts an awesome promo. I mean, he drops an F-bomb in the middle of a promo, but
he dropped a couple on NXT too. I think he thinks that NXT was on Netflix also.
But he goes on and he thanks Cody for carrying the company since WrestleMania and all that stuff, and it's totally opposite from the Cody Crybabies Rock at WrestleMania and everything.
It was very no pun intended, over the top, like cookie cutter, as far as like very positive, thanking all of Netflix. It was basically blowing Netflix is what it was for most of it, and I get it.
And I think that's to reach out to those people that are tuning in to WWE maybe for the first time ever, because it's on Netflix now.
Or a long time, like even if they haven't watched it since the Attitude Era, the best
Mm-hmm.
people to start out with is Triple H, and then you have The Rock.
Yeah, that's a very
Yeah.
good point too. Because I was talking with Jesse down at Danger Zone Video today, and we were talking about that. He was like, "Man, I haven't watched the WWE product in a couple of years," and he said, he was like, "I loved every minute of the first episode of Raw."
Yeah.
He's like, it sucked me back in with everything. But like I said, I get Netflix and The Rock having to come out there and
Oh, of
show
course.
face
Yeah.
on everything.
You
Yeah, I
got
mean,
to.
you got to. But what I was surprised, then you had the tribal combat match right after that with Roman and Solo. And is Roman the guy, even though Cody's got the belt on him? You think? I mean,
Yeah,
he got a huge pop again.
and that was a smart move by WWE also because I don't know how many subscribers are women on Netflix, but I did see some posts from some women that were very happy with Roman Reigns coming out, and that so I think that you
That's
got The
another
Rock,
draw too.
yep, you got The Rock, and then you have Roman Reigns come out, and it's like I guess they may be trying to draw in more women with that.
Well, I think the reason they did that match first, they were front loading that content because and comedians are starting to do it on their specials. The for specials where comedians, it's like 21 minutes is what the retention is.
Yep.
If it's an hour special and they're only watching 20 minutes of it, they're only watching a third of it. So
Yeah.
a lot of the comedians now are putting some of their biggest bits and stuff in the front. That's what WWE did to me. It's what I think. They
Yeah.
wanted to see how long they could keep people in tune, and they wanted to hit them with like a big match right off the gate.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Right
Oh
out
yeah.
the gate.
Most certainly. And it was a good match too. They put on. I mean,
Yeah.
you got the interferences from both sides of the bloodline, and then you have KO come into the match and make an interference, and then you got your appearance from Cody coming in and in and out there. You had an appearance from all your big names in this
Yeah.
episode.
And they kind of done like what UFC does, because I know a lot of I think Conrad and them were talking about why you wouldn't have your champion on there instead of just showing them in the crowd. But that's
Yeah.
what UFC does a lot. Like at the
Yeah.
UFC events, they'll
Yeah.
show other fighters that aren't on the card. So I think that's what they were doing. I think it's smart that they're doing that, and like the mat, the way that the mat is now with the sponsorships. I think
Yep.
it feels
Hmm.
makes it feel bigger, and it makes it feel more like a professional fight or
Event.
a big boxing match or something.
Yeah, and I love the camera work that they're doing with everything.
Mhm.
Every
With
bit
the
of like
drone.
the
Yep.
drone. Just
Yeah.
I like that camera that they're bringing over top of the ring in a way
Mhm.
that's on the
Hmm.
long. And there's not as many cuts now on
Yep.
everything. They're taking long shots. Uh,
It's more cinematic, I think.
exactly. And I
Yeah. That
think we
drone
had
was
an
flying all
idea.
through there.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and I mean, you take advantage of it. I mean, you got all this technology now. You have all this money. Put it into the product, and
Mhm.
I think it looks amazing as a
Yeah.
show, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
For
Um,
sure.
but you had Roman win back the Ula Fala. I said it right this time. The necklace thing,
I'm glad you
but then
said it.
you had the
I ain't
Rock
saying
come
that.
out. You had the Rock come out again and put it around Roman, and then they hug and everything. I thought maybe the Rock would come out there and maybe
Mhm.
advance that story a little bit more. It's like, hey,
That's what I
you
was
got this,
thinking, and it was nothing. Yeah.
yeah. And it was just like, oh, everything's okay. I was like,
Yep.
give us something to advance this whole storyline with you guys.
Yeah.
But once again,
That
it's
that might have been the calm before the storm.
yeah, very true as well.
Like,
But like you said, they kept hitting heavy hitters in this episode because then you had Cena come out
mhm.
for his first promo for the farewell tour, and just typical
Got
Cena
Cena, man.
promo.
Yep.
He's the goat. The goat,
Yeah.
and I really like how he comes out. He's not expecting anything, like you said in his promo, that he doesn't expect to get a title shot. That
Hmm.
he's going to enter into the Rumble, and who knows what could happen.
Yeah.
But I tell
Yeah.
you what, though, what a pop it would be if he won the Rumble.
I think he's gonna win it.
Yeah, me too.
It it's set up for him to win it with it being his farewell tour, and I think that, and then he mentioned about how many days it had been. Oh shit!
Yeah,
It mentioned that how many days it had been. Uh, Sorry about that.
Are you good?
He mentioned
but
how many days that it had been since he won a match, which
yeah,
is insane to me. That it's been that many days.
that
Oh
just that
God.
it just tells you how much of the goat he is. Because before he took that stretch with going to Hollywood and everything, he was putting people over and
No,
all that.
facts. Facts.
So, but it should be. You know what I would love to see for Mania? I would love to see a Gunther Cena match at Mania.
Yeah.
Sign me
No,
up for
facts.
that.
Yep.
Facts.
Yeah. That it- at this point, anything that Cena does, anything that he does this year is gonna be. I think he's gonna have the best year that he's had as far as like big matches. I think even bigger than whenever he was the champion and the guy. I think he'll have more memorable matches this year and more
Yeah,
memorable
moments.
rivalries and feuds than he's ever had.
Yeah, everything that he's going to
Facts.
do this year, it's going to be an impactful
Hmm.
thing that he's going to do. He's not going to do nothing that's not meaningful.
Yep.
And so, but no, that Cena's the goat. I like his new merch. He's going to sell the hell out of it with the farewell tour, and all that stuff.
Hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but then that rolled right into the women's world title match with Ripley and Liv Morgan, which was I was surprised that they turned the title over, but I
Yeah.
guess you kind of needed that on the first episode of Raw too
Yep.
to get
Yeah,
people in.
just something. Yeah, I think it was just to get something going.
Uh, the text
I
of the night while we were watching that thing though came from Chance and saying, and I quote, Raquel Rodriguez is walking down to the ring looking like Diesel.
That's what they remind me of. Liv Morgan's like Shawn
She
Michaels,
definitely
and
did.
then she's like Diesel. It's
And
like
she's got the look of it
same
too.
thing. Yeah.
I
Yep.
uh I apologize. The light that's attached to this was charging and it
Uh.
still just died. So hopefully y'all can see me okay, can't you?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you can
Yeah.
see
You
It's just
good.
perfect.
not as bright. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think that I'm a big fan of Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Um
I like her and Liv Morgan. I think
I,
Liv
I,
has
yeah.
come a long way the last, since they started their feud with each other.
I think all
Yeah.
their matches have been
Yep.
great matches between them two. But
Hmm.
Yeah.
like I
I
said,
hate
I get.
Dominic.
Oh yeah, but that's why he's there for. That's what
Yep.
he's there for.
No, but it's yeah, but I hate him like more than I don't like him. I don't like him. Um,
Uh, but
but
yeah,
yeah, that
you
was a
had to
dope
have a
segment.
title change. Yeah, you had to have a title change at some
Hmm.
point on the first episode to get to
Hmm.
people to see new people to see what a reaction of a title change is, and then you had to
Thanks.
have the Taker appearance. I I guess
Very.
that was a spot for him. I don't know. I guess that was a
I mean,
fourth
Taker
spot.
just comes out there on a motorcycle on his bike, American Badass, and co-signs Rhea Ripley, and that's it. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah. I think it would have been cooler if they would have done it during the Rock segment. Just have them two
Yeah.
face to face. I don't know. As an old school fan,
Or
but
maybe if he, or, well, we'll get to it. But what was the next
That,
segment?
the next one after that, you had a pre-tape. I know me and Chance are big fan. And you're becoming a big fan of Logan Paul, but he had a pre-taped interview
hmm.
saying where he was going to be 100% WWE superstar this coming up year and not be a part timer and everything. So I'm curious to see how far with how much more we see him on the product this year. With I guess with
Yeah.
Netflix, and he's going to be making more appearances this year. And there's talk of him doing house shows and everything this year too.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's
So,
cool.
Yeah,
um,
he talked about that on his podcast a while back about wanting to be more involved and do more than just the big shows. He wants to do like the house shows and everything. So that's been a while since he said that. So I guess he's finally coming around to it. But I also saw something that he was in negotiations with them, and then also in negotiations about possibly fighting Conor McGregor, which I don't know how what the likelihood of that happening is, but
Yeah.
whichever one pays the most, I think that's what he was kind of leaning
yeah,
towards. So WWE
yeah.
must have won.
Show me the money.
Yep.
But and then you had the Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre match, which Jey Uso is the most over guy in wrestling right now by far.
Which is such an insane thing to even say out loud.
Yeah, but his
But it's
intro,
true.
he came out with Travis Scott in his walkout with Travis Scott smoking a joint at the entrance.
Yep.
And
Definitely the first person that smoked a joint on WWE television.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
You could.
Yeah.
Netflix just said, "Okay, we're fine with it," or he just did it and just didn't give a fuck.
I
But
think that's probably what it was.
He tried handing it to Jey Uso, and Triple H is sitting in the back going, "Please don't take that. Please don't take that." But I mean, it's the most. I mean, he's the most over guy in there. He had Michael Cole on the announce table doing the yeet thing.
Yep.
Michael Cole was standing.
Super awkward too.
Yeah, but how many other people can get Michael Cole to stand on the announce table
during
their intro?
I saw on Twitter he posted, I guess his Apple Watch thought that he fell down because he was moving so violently. It asked him if he was okay.
That's funny.
But I mean,
yeah.
But I mean, I'm a huge Drew fan, and Drew just puts on good matches every time he's in the ring. And that dude is so big. He's
Drew
scary,
makes me so bad because he's my age, and I'm like, I don't go to the gym as much as Drew does. So, but I need to start doing it because dude, he's a beast. Like he's a guy that had his career wasn't headed in the best direction, and he was able to just totally switch that right around. So
oh yeah, and even in today's I mean, he keeps himself in the main event picture with everything. It just
and he's believable.
Yes,
he's great scary with the promos. Him and the stuff that him and Punk's done, the stuff that him and Seth Rollins, like you can put him with anybody, and it's believable.
Yeah, I'm a huge Drew fan.
Yep.
But yeah, you had another great match between them two, and of course Jay's going to go over in that match. But that's all. I think the whole Drew losing these matches and him getting madder, it's just all a big setup for something. He's going to win another title at some point.
Yeah.
I'm just glad they're putting main event Jey Uso in some main events, and he's actually winning them.
Yes, you got to because
I was getting ready to take his name away. I was going to take that name away if he kept losing in main events and was.
He was going to take it away.
But then you had the ultimate fiasco of the whole night. You had Hulk Hogan come stumbling down the walkway with Jimmy Hart at 80 years old, waving the American flag as hard as he can. And as soon as Hulk Hogan walked out of that walkway,
people booed Jimmy Hart like it wasn't nothing.
Oh my God! I felt bad. I didn't feel bad for Hogan at all.
Not at all. Not in the slightest.
I felt so bad for Jimmy because he has no part in this. No part whatsoever.
Well, he caught a stray bullet because he was associated with that. If that wasn't the biggest karmic, that won't work for me, brother.
Yeah.
Where all these years where Hogan said that don't work for me, brother. And then he comes out fucking just stumbling through his promo, talking about his beer, just talking about Netflix. And he got booed worse than he did when he turned NWO.
Oh, it was by far. It's as soon as he walked out of the tunnel, and he couldn't even. And what's so bad is he couldn't hardly make it out of that tunnel. He was walking so. Jimmy looked in better shape than Hogan did.
Hogan's back is beyond foobarred. I mean, it was just it was very forced. It shouldn't have happened.
At least he called it Netflix and didn't say that they were on Hulu.
It would have been better if he did. What they ought to do is and they can't do that because Hogan can't walk.
No.
Yeah. I was gonna say have him just turn black and white NWO again, but not to wrestle or nothing. But I think that's gonna be the first. He won't be on there for a while, probably.
No. And it just as a childhood hero of mine. I mean, it sucks, but you reap what you sow. He deserved.
He brought it on himself.
He brought it on himself. It just sucks seeing, as a child, he was a superhero to me and could do no wrong. But it's just, he did it to himself.
Yeah, I mean, same with me. I mean, we this podcast I've spoke about it, but as an adult, and you realize how much of
a piece
asshole
of
he
shit
was,
he is.
and how he didn't want to put nobody over and shit. It's
Mhm.
just like,
And he hasn't changed. He's gotten worse as he's gotten older too. That's the bad thing.
yeah,
He's gotten worse
yeah.
as a person, and it just it
But
sucks.
that Hogan,
It sucks so bad.
segment was definitely cringe as fuck. I mean,
Oh, it was so
Mhm.
bad the whole time. I mean, they didn't stop booing him the whole time.
mm,
Oh, it was so bad. But luckily, you had the Punk and Rollins match after that one, and of course, they're going to put on a barn burner up for the main event and everything. And it was cool to see the crowd was 50-50 on that
Mhm.
one. You had half the crowd for Rollins, half the crowd for Punk, and I
Like
mean they
Hogan
just
and
went to work.
Warrior.
Yeah, yeah. I mean it's
don't you dare.
it's going to be curious to see what comes with more of this feud and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah. They've done a great job with that. It's hard for me to tell,
What's
where
real
the
and
line.
what's
Yeah,
a
it's
shoot
it's
and
kind
what's
of like
not.
how Brett and Sean were, with
Yes,
yeah.
with theirs. Like you don't know where. I mean, because it seems like I know, from the rumors and stuff that they had issues with each other in the past with all the AEW stuff and just I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
that Seth probably does feel some of the things that he says about Punk leaving and then them basically and him going to the competition and if they could have buried WWE he probably would have at that point but
yeah.
he had to go back to WWE but it's it's kind of like with Drew they're real you don't know what's where the line really is.
And I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yep.
Sign me up for all of it.
Mhm.
But no, as a whole, I enjoyed that first episode on Netflix. I mean,
Yeah.
it's got me wanting to tune in every week to catch what's going on.
And it ran 3 hours, right? Like right at a little bit
Yeah, it
over
went
3
a
hours.
little bit over.
Yep.
And I know we've said it before. Triple H wants it right at that 2.5 hour
Yeah.
slot is what he prefers it to be. But you had to stretch it out with it being the
Mhm.
first episode and everything. But
Well,
the
and on
ratings and
Netflix,
everything.
when you go look at it, it says it's like 2 hours and 25 minutes. That's something. So they show 35 minutes of commercials.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I think the Hogan they cut out the Hogan segment as well on the
Didn't
replay.
they?
Oh
Yeah,
my God, did they really?
yeah,
Fucking,
I
of
think.
course they
Oh,
did.
man.
Yeah,
Hogan gets a dodges
They
a.
should have just
but
they should have just funneled in some cheers and, thank you Hogan's and called it a day.
but it's
I can't
always. I
believe
mean,
they
that
edited it out.
Yeah.
I get it, but it's always out there. It's the internet nowadays. That video is going to be it's out there for forever. But yeah, it's kind of a shoo for them to be. Oh no, you shouldn't have done it in the first place. To be honest, you shouldn't have
Mhm.
gave that motherfucker that time to promote his own self
Yep.
over anything. So, but no,
So nobody's
it's
trying to
all.
drink real American beer, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah, get the fuck
Mhm.
out of here, you piece of shit, motherfucker. But it had me ready for. I was ready at 7 o'clock for episode 2, the day before my birthday.
Happy
I was.
belated birthday.
And happy belated birthday, bro.
They're not good. I'm getting closer to 50 now. That's what sucks.
Mm.
Oh,
I'm right there
uh,
behind you.
I didn't
no,
watch
you ain't.
this episode. I watched the recap, but watching the recap, it seemed like it was a very just mild, regular
Felt more
Monday
like
Night Raw.
Raw, like
Yeah,
Monday
it
Night
felt.
Raw on
It
Yeah.
USA.
was. Yeah, it was more of a exactly, but with different camera angles and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So you start off the show with a banger promo with Punk coming out, and then he gets interrupted by Rollins, and then he gets interrupted by Drew, and they all declare for the Royal Rumble. Um, which
I like how they're doing that this year. Like back in the day, like it seems like the last few years they haven't been making the Royal Rumble feel as big as it is this year.
as
Like
it
they're
is,
really building it up, and then it reminds me of the old days when everybody wanted to be in the Royal Rumble,
yeah,
and now
yeah.
Yeah. When's it come out? When's the Rumble
I think it's the
pay-per-view?
first weekend of February.
February, yeah, first weekend of
Okay,
February.
dope. And well,
Uh,
too, Punk. I saw where Punk went at John Cena too. Um,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah,
about you're gonna have a pretty good Rumble, man. Just with them four alone that have declared that they're gonna be in it. So,
Yeah,
but
February
my money's
1st.
on Cena. My money's on Cena.
yeah. It's gonna be interesting to lead up to the Rumble and all that stuff. I'm pumped for it. I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
because I like it, like you said, Chance. All the big names saying, "Hey, I'm going to be in here. I'm going to be in it," and all that kind of stuff.
Man,
I wonder how many surprises we'll have this year. Because last year, I don't think there were many at all, or any surprises last year.
And something else that's going to be interesting is the deal that WWE just signed with TNA. So
Facts.
you could have Jordan Grace that came in
last year.
Was that last year?
Yep,
Yeah,
that was last year.
You could
But we
see
could
more stuff
have
like
some
that
male
too.
superstars coming into the Rumble this year.
Yep.
I'd love to see Moose. Moose come over. I mean,
hey,
that dude's a monster.
What if Dolph Ziggler shows back up?
Boom. What?
Yep.
What's he going to come out as? Nick Namath?
I don't know. We'll see.
So does WWE, are they going to air all their pay-per-views on Netflix and all that now? Is that all Netflix now?
They're still on Peacock for now until I think they have another year on their deal with Peacock. But
so it's just Monday Night Raw.
Well, through Triple H said that this WrestleMania will be the last WrestleMania underneath their deal. So
no, okay. So everything after
so it's not even a year. Yeah.
So going into 2026, everything could go over to Netflix, and that's one thing I was really happy with. I had no buffering issues in either episode.
Yeah, it's been smooth.
Yeah, it's gone really smooth. And then we had the debut, the big away debut of Penta versus Gable. You could tell that he was extremely excited for the match and everything because he even messed up, I think, on his intro. He was on the wrong knee and everything from the videos and all that.
Yep.
Match started off a little shaky, a little botchy on a couple spots, but then it cleaned up. Gable is amazing. Gable is a star.
He's like a mini Kurt Angle.
Yep.
Exactly. If he was just maybe a foot taller, or he'd be a main guy in everything. But his
foot taller,
yeah.
He's like a foot taller.
Yeah, what did I say? 2 foot?
No, a foot tall. I mean, that's a big difference. I mean, the chances are a foot taller. He could be.
If I was a foot taller, I would be a miniature tree.
Yeah.
Give him 6. Give him 5 inches.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's what she said. The thing too about it with dude botching, because I saw some of the highlights from that match. It made me feel like I know he's not, but it made me remember Sin Cara back in the day.
Yeah.
Those botched intros and botched moves, and
I think it was more exciting because Penta, he's a big name wrestler and everything. And I think it was just more being a little over excited for the match and everything because they cleaned up about halfway through. It got a whole lot better of a match and everything.
And it's a different ring than he's used to. Also, it's a bigger ring. I don't think that the ropes are different because they use the cable. I don't know if AEW uses cable or not, but I know
is that where he came from?
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So it's probably a smaller ring, and he just but I think he done a great job overall on his debut.
Oh, that Hurricane Rana that he hit from the outside, from the apron, and then of course that what they call it, the Mexican Destroyer.
Yeah,
that was. I mean, of course, Gable sold it.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yep.
And then just a perfect sell job.
Yep, and then he cut that promo after the match was over, and I think he went over his time. Some people were kind of upset with him about that. That's the rumor anyway.
But I don't know what could have got. I don't know from looking at the show what could have got cut. I think in the time frame.
Yeah, I think Sammy and Miz didn't get as much time as they probably, because it was. I was thinking, man, that was kind of a short match, and I thought that Penta's. I mean, I kind of noticed that it seemed longer than it probably should have been, but I was thinking, well, maybe this is his first time, so they're giving him, Plus, he was kind of talking bad about AEW a little bit. So I thought maybe WWE was giving him more time.
Yeah, and he did like half the promo in English and then half the promo in Spanish. It made sense with the San Jose debut made sense and everything too for him.
Yeah.
I know Cornette was harsh on his debut and everything, but Cornette hates everything that comes from AEW.
And most of
I,
the
but
I
stuff
didn't
everything
hear
comes
it.
from WWE.
Yeah.
but as soon as Ray Phoenix comes over and is able to come over, you're going to have the best tag team in the world with Ray Phoenix and Penta, and it's only going to boost up the tag team division even more. The way it needs to be done, because those two guys are.
They need to get. They were building the tag team division pretty good for a while, and then they just kind of
It's
stopped.
disappeared.
Yeah.
When's the last time we've seen a tag match on on an important show?
Yep.
A title match, a tag team. Who's the tag team title champs?
I don't even know.
Exactly.
But I know they've been pushing the Viking Raiders pretty hard, and they've been pushing the New Day still.
Yeah.
And Motor City Machine Guns. But
I think
they're already not doing a tag team division, and then I don't know if it's the next segment, but then can we explain why they need a women's intercontinental championship? Somebody explain that to me.
I don't know, because you have a women's U.S. title as well now too.
But bruh? But you just said they already don't have a tag division. They don't care about the tag belts.
Nope.
So they give another belt.
Yeah, it makes no sense, because the two girls that were in that match, I've never heard of. Lyra Valkyrie and Dakota Kai. I've heard of Dakota Kai.
Nobody cared either.
They're pushing Lyra hard. They're pushing, like, she's been winning some big matches even before they got on to Netflix. She had some pretty good wins. They've been building her up from NXT, but to me, it's not really anything special. Yeah.
Yeah, but like you said, it's like, why are we taking away from something? And I don't know. It don't make sense.
Yeah.
Don't make sense at all. And you had Gunther come out and cut a promo, and then of course Jay comes out, and that's going to be your main event for the next Saturday night main events. Is going to be Gunther versus Jay Uso. Gunther, I'm not sold on his promos. I love him in the ring, but he's not too good on promos, or they're very slow.
He's not good at all. He's not good at all on promos.
Okay,
I like Uso's promo. You can tell that he's still trying to learn from that main event promo standpoint. I noticed on his promo, and it was really emotion driven too. So I know there was that, but he was kind of stumbling a little bit, but it was a good promo though.
Yeah. And then I guess we're gonna have a setup. I guess Braun Breaker and Sheamus are gonna have a little program now after their match they had after that Sheamus and what's his name, Ludwig Kaiser match.
Yeah, I like Kaiser a lot.
He's got a great build to him.
Yeah, he's kind of on the like the shorter side or smaller side, but I don't know if he's really. He just looks smaller, but I don't know. I think he's a good. I think he's got a lot of talent. I wouldn't mind seeing like him and Penta or someone like that wrestling each other, because that would be a good matchup with their sizes and everything and their style.
Yeah, because he can go. I mean, that Sheamus and Kaiser match, it was just your typical like brawl match. I mean, heavy hitter and everything. It was a good solid match with Sheamus winning.
Yeah, Sheamus and Braun Breaker, they'll beat the shit out of each other. That'll be a good match.
Yeah. I'm down for that. All day. And then shout out Jazzy. And then you had that short Sammy and the Miz match, which came from that backstage promo.
Yeah, that was sense. I don't know what they're doing with the Miz right now. I wish they would kind of steer away from what they're doing with him and what's the guy's name? I can't remember. Never mind.
I know.
Karrion Kross.
Oh yeah. That's another guy that has all the talent in the world. They just can't do nothing with.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like they're the low budget the low budget Judgment Day.
Hey, I like it. Yeah. I like it. Good call on that one. Well, then speaking of the Judgment Day, the main event for was the street fight between Finn Balor and Damian Priest, which we've discussed. We're not Damian Priest fans at all.
No.
I don't know, and that's another one that I don't get. I just don't get why they shit on Finn Balor so much when he has just as much talent as anybody on that roster.
Yep.
And if they put him back in the demon persona, you talking about a pop? I mean, I don't get it why they shit on him so much.
Yeah, it don't make sense.
It was a good match though. I mean, because of course, you got Finn Balor in it and everything. That spot at the end to end the match, that superplex off onto the table and
Yep.
everything was cool to see. But
Yeah, that was one of the better like no holds barred type matches that I've seen in a while. I think they, especially for it to be on Raw and not being a pay per view.
Yeah, it was a solid match.
Yep.
It was a good way to end that second episode.
Yeah, it was a surprise to me to see it go off that early. Like I always go and watch wrestling with my grandfather, and we're just like, that's weird. Like it's weird that it ended at that time, and I think they're gonna do that a lot more, just depending on what's going on, how many people what stories they want to tell, and some weeks it may be 2.5 hours, some weeks it may be 3 to even 3 hours and 15 minutes or so. I don't know, but
I'm sure they can get a live feed on what the viewership is going on at the time too, and they may
just base the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure they have all those analytics.
Yeah, base their time frames of how their viewership's going on through the episode and everything as well. So,
yeah.
But I'm stoked for this Netflix era. I love it so far.
I hope they move everything over to Netflix. I don't know if they ever will. I mean, maybe not NXT, but I hope they move all their main programming and all the PLEs over to Netflix, because it I don't know. I just like it better than it being on Peacock.
I'm sure I'm sure this is just they're starting with Raw, and I bet you money they're gonna move every bit of programming over to Netflix. It just makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and they're calling it Netflix Air. So
yeah,
sure.
But overall, I'm happy with the move to Netflix. I mean, I better catch them live on Monday nights, but I'll definitely go back and watch them. And maybe that can be something that really does. I mean, it's obviously taking off for them, but I think that'll be where they end up having all their content.
Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I'm sold on it from the first 2 episodes. Yeah, I'm all for it. I love the production side of this. Just from the first 2 episodes. I mean, we saw a glimpse of it right there at the tail end once and everything was starting to shift over, but the whole production side of everything now, yes, sign me up. It's more cinematic.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
I like it too. I mean, I think it was a great move. I think it was the right move. WWE has always kind of been, in the forefront of new technology and just cutting edge. And I think that this is definitely a big step for them, and I think it's going to work out very well for them in the future. I mean, it already
for
is.
sure.
So. Oh yeah, I agree.
Yep.
For sure, guys. We are
boom.
We're officially 2 episodes away from 100 episodes.
Wow.
It's triple digits. It's wild to me that we're almost at 100 freaking episodes and haven't missed. That's the biggest thing. Like we keep saying, we haven't missed a week. We make things happen to bring out the content and everything, and we haven't missed a Thursday in almost 100 episodes. It's wild.
Yep.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. But salute to y'all for dedication. Salute to everybody that tunes in, and the sponsors. We don't have the wrestlers here on the episode, but they're there with Chance and Spirit.
Yeah,
yeah.
We got Jimmy and Mean Gene.
There you go.
But shout out to Revolution One Media. If it wasn't for Revolution One Media, we wouldn't be shooting this right here.
Oh no,
no facts.
Yeah.
So in Trouble Spirits.
Absolutely, and let us know what y'all think of these type episodes. Obviously from a quality standpoint, it won't be as great quality with audio and video, but it's still good enough.
Mm-hmm.
But it could potentially get us some different,
get us more guests.
Yeah. So
because we've had numerous people that say they want to come on, but it's so hard to get them out there to the studio, and this is
scheduled
getting scheduled and all this. But this is going to be the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
No, for sure.
It's easy too. Once you do it a couple of times, we'll be simple
Like
as,
riding a bicycle.
yeah, it'll be just as easy as us getting together.
Yeah.
No,
Or
for
easier,
sure,
really.
man. Y'all be sure to hit that subscribe button, man. We're like close to 1,000. We're still creeping up on 1,000 slowly but surely. We're getting there.
We're inching there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But y'all be sure to stay tuned, man. We got more on the way.
Yeah. See y'all next week, motherfuckers.
Over the top with Chad and Tony, talking about movies and wrestling. I might just drunk the team hating on me. Gene, DJ keeps the party going. Brandon E brings repeat. We don't know how to speak. Running wild on you, brother. We're over the top. Rocking it back to the vintage scene. Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central. With epic thumbnails from the vintage of Moxie. Gonna bring you the best legends you remember.